Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. Hi, hello. My name is Patience. Thank you for the like. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Patience. I am the host of Spirit News Podcast on all major platforms. We're here to do another energy experiment. If you are on your awakening journey and you're transitioning from the head to the heart, we have put all of our spirit nuggets from our own journey, walking this path as guided by our spirit team, on a podcast that focuses only on metaphysical transformation and the things that helped us get through our own journey to now, which the journey is not over. We're still producing episodes based upon our journey in real time of spirit guidance that's given to us by our spirit team, and we put it into action and we actually do what they suggest, and it's working out fantastically, and we're so grateful for the guidance. I love you, Spirit. That's on all major platforms. If you want to follow any of our socials, you can go to the link tree in the description bar. We'd be happy to have you. We're so happy to be here in this time with you. It's a very exciting time for us as a collective. We've never done it in this exact way, so it can feel a little confusing because we're creating a new existence that hasn't been done in this particular way. So we're here for each other. I love how we can all in. Thank you. Yes, thanks for being here. What is it? Mackenhock. Oh, I don't want to say the rest. It sounds a little... Anyway, we're doing an energy experiment. So we're spirit medium. We were born psychic, but through unprecedented traumatic events, we forgot our gifts, and now that we're stepping into our Christ consciousness, we're starting to be reactivated, as a lot of you are as well, and we have asked for our spirit team to help us develop our spiritual abilities, and they guided me to make this platform so we can have a platform to do this together. So today's experiment, I was getting a download, and we're developing the next episode of Spirit News, episode 20, Spirit and Identity. And we're gathering the components and the data, and we're asking questions that have to do with, how does one identify, and what does that look like to spirit? How does that unfolding happen to spirit, and what do they see that we don't? Questions like that. And so something that came up was in ancient times, they gave me memories of when I used to be a diviner or use divination. I didn't use tarot though. I used multiple other ways. I used smoke, and I used tea leaves and axe markings. It's like a whole thing. And it's kind of like what I'm doing now, because I was just, back in the day, I just wanted to, different people needed different ways to divine when they came to me for questions. And so then it came, so I was like, okay, that's cool. And then it started getting my mind rolling. Well, what kind of people would come to get their divining done, to ask for what were the main reasons the ancients would go to the diviner. Sister, you started a live broadcast all by yourself. Yeah, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. Because it records it. So I want it to be the same, I want it to be viewed the same as when somebody comes later that's watching it recorded, I want it to be like in that same feeling. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. And so I'm like, what kind of people would come to get divined, like back in, in ancient times when it was more accepted, and it was almost like a position of a doctor, but an emotional doctor. And we're kind of missing that in our society now because we're in such like a patriarchy, and it's such a masculine driven society where it's very like left brain, very analytical, very like empirical evidence. Emotions are nothing. Don't even look at emotions. I mean, it's changing. But in ancient times, the diviner or the prophet or the, I don't know, the spirit specifically said diviner. So that's what I'm going to say. It was their job, or people would come to them to understand their emotional hangups that they didn't understand why they had. And so I was like, oh, can you please elaborate on that? And so the experiment today is based off of this question. Well, what in what ways does divining help people with their emotions? And Spirit said that a lot of time, like 90% of the time, you will have gone through emotional trauma that you don't even remember. LOL! Hey! Hey, LOL! Hello, Patience, Spirit Collective, trolls. Yes, hello to all, above and below. Thanks for being here, buddy. So happy to have you. We're just getting into it. I'm doing an experiment today because Spirit said you can, if you're not ordained to be a diviner, that's why you'd go to be divined, but you'd have to go with an intention and a specific need to want to clarify things that are unknown that may have happened to you in childhood. Having said that, Spirit also says that you don't have to remember what happened, but if you understand the story or the people involved or just the scenario in general, you don't have to relive the trauma to overcome it. But by identifying trauma you don't remember, it actually helps to clear your field. So that way light can come in, because if your field is completely unclear because it's full of emotional hangups that you don't even know where they come from, you don't remember how they got there because you were too young, or it was repressed, or your parents gave you drugs and anesthetics that made you black out, it makes it hard to identify, because how are you supposed to retrieve that? Or how are you supposed to even identify every day? Spirit said you can go about your everyday life and be cut off from source because of these things that block your field from receiving more light in it, because it dirties your field. So I'm like, well, shit, if you guys watch me, I had a spontaneous memory retrieval of something in my childhood that was a traumatic event that I didn't, it's almost like I knew, but I didn't, the minute I remembered it, it's like now I can't unremember it. It's like once you see it, you can't go back. And so it was given to me at a time when I was ready to receive it, because Spirit when you're in relationship with Spirit, they can see what you're ready for. If you take on trauma, that's the one downfall about a therapist. When you're, not that it's bad to go to a therapist, but they can't see what is on your... Yes, I'm here. Spirit's like, we're your therapist. We are part of the therapy process. Spirit says, yes, I'm here. Because they can see what's on your field energetically that you might not be able to identify or specify or know that needs to be healed. And you also can't whatever that trauma is, you may still be in active relationship with participants of that trauma that aren't revealing the truth to you, but you still have to interact with them, and that can disrupt your field and how much light you're getting in it as well. And so the experiment today is, I'm going to do it on myself because I'm giving myself permission, and you're more than welcome to stay or go. It's, I don't, you can definitely see how it unfolds and see how the experiment goes. But I basically, I didn't know my father growing up. My father, I remember like 2 or 3 times where, he picked me up, and even those are like slightly vague, and they kind of feel like memories like a chunk of a memory, but I don't remember like the whole thing surrounding that chunk of memory for those few times. And it kind of feels like the spontaneous memory. Gotcha. So need to go within, do some meditation, and ask guidance first to help process. Oh, well, always. But I am divining. I am using divination to do this. Now, I don't recommend that everyone does divination because you will attract messages that match your energy. And so that's why Spirit says, if you go to a divination specialist, have an intention. You can't read other people's energy. It can only be your own energy, and know that what is revealed might be something that is upsetting. And so you have to use your techniques given to you by your guides for grounding, intention, heart consciousness. There is a course of action that needs to be taken. We shouldn't be using divination or abusing it for spying on people. It is literally a healing tool that's meant to reveal things you cannot see, but for yourself. And your spirit team will help use the divination as a tool, as long as you can be responsible with it. If the minute you show irresponsibility is when karmic consequences are activated. So I'm going to use my spirit team. I'm going to ask my spirit team to bring forward the energy of my father. He has crossed over. My bio dad, I didn't know him. His name is Michael Dennis Petriconi. He is the brother of Alex Rocco, the actor from Godfather, who put the horse of the head in the bed, or at least that's what I was told. I don't even know if that's true. I don't even know if he's my real father. I don't know. But I'm going to use this as a way to experiment and see if there's something there that can be let go of, can be healed, can be revealed. Because I want to clear my field as much as possible. I do this work for you guys to see that you're not alone, and for you guys to see that it can be done, and it can be beneficial, and it might be different, and it might be, a new way of doing things, but it is divinely guided. Okay. And so whatever comes through, I cannot prove it in court of law. This is for entertainment purposes only. It's all allegedly. I don't have empirical proof. And it could be past, present, or future. And because we live in a fractal universe, it could also be part of your story. And you could identify with lots of parts of it. Okay? Okay. Farjar. Oh, Farjar. I don't know if you guys know about Austin Powers, but... Restaurant. Spirit said restaurant Nuremberg. Let me just look up Nuremberg. I'm not super familiar with it other than its location. Nuremberg, which is in Germany. I didn't want to say, hey, it's only $609 to go from Boston to Germany one way. I don't think that's horrible. Head. So I said head. So it's a city, the second largest city in Bavaria, southern Germany. I don't know, maybe It also says Holy Roman Empire.
I will touch your head.
I will touch your head. So maybe this father was religious. Maybe this father had some kind of religious background. Like I said, I don't know much about him, but there seems to be somebody here who may have Germanic, Catholic, Roman Catholic history. Okay. Spirit! Spirit! Where should we go? Dennis, Michael Dennis, please tell me, Spirit, tell me about my father. What about him? Implicant. Oh my gosh, and I have this castle right here. And Nuremberg has this castle too. Deceptor. We'll do a mind trap. Hello, Robin. Thank you for being here. I don't know if you'll enjoy the reading. You're more than welcome to stay. I'm doing a experiment using divination, trying to reveal things about my own past that are unknown to me to see if it helps to clear the field more. Just a fun experiment because it's fun and I want to learn, and why not, right? So Deceptor. Oh, Robin, you're gonna make me cry. Robin, you support me more than my own family does, I swear. You both do. LOL and Robin. Oh, I love and support you. Hold space in my heart. We're good. Oh my gosh, you're gonna make me cry. I can't read this card now because I got tears in my eyes. 4-4 in the chat. Thank you. I give it back to you. I love you too. Deceptor, the famous magician. Fucking A. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Apparently we are earth angels for you. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm here for you too. I love watching your content. I love your voice. The famous magician. Right off the bat. Well, you know, okay, well, before we go, let me just say what I do know about him. If he is my father, my mother used to say he was abusive and that he beat her so badly that one summer that my sister, who's 10 years older than me, but we have different fathers, he beat her so badly that she couldn't let my sister come back from visiting her father to see her that way.
Yes.
And so my sister stayed with her father in Boston, and that he used to make music, and he made a song called The Tower of Babylon. And she always sings the Tower of Babylon, the Tower, and she said it was such a stupid song. And of course, at the time, I didn't know about the story of the Tower of Babylon, but now, as I'm older, I know that that story holds, you know, occult knowledge or knowledge about our ancient past, supposedly. And this says that they were a famous magician touring ancient castles. So that's very interesting. I wonder if there's any like correlation. And that could be, maybe that's why I was born psychic. I don't know, you guys. I don't know, but let's let it unfold. Deceptor. It's Deceptor. Like a play on words, a deceptor. So he could have been, you know, had his own problems. The famous magician was in Europe, in which Germany is Europe. Touring one of the many ancient castles, the tour guide explained that one of the most common defenses built in those days was the moat. The moat that D was touring was a huge square, 5 meters wide and 7 meters deep. D, however, was not too impressed with the moat's protective abilities. D boasted that he could cross the moat without getting wet by using just 2/4 of a meter planks and nothing else. How could he do it? Deceptor put one of the planks across the corner of the moat, which shortened the distance to less than 5 meters. Egyptian magic. That's interesting you say that. So this guy could have fancied himself as a famous magician or had some kind of knowledge about magic or some kind of practices. He could have thought his knowledge was wide and deep. There could have been somebody that wasn't impressed with his abilities. He could have been psychic like me. Maybe that's where I got it from. Maybe he used his powers for bad. I'm not sure. But it does say deceptor. They boasted, so somebody wasn't impressed with their abilities, and he could have been a boaster, like a show-off about his abilities. He could have been asked to show, like, what he can do. And that's on top of I am, the sun, masculine energy, consciousness. Also means someone who betrays, deceptor, right? Exactly. Okay. So he's in his ego. He may have abilities that he uses to impress people. But there is somebody in particular that's acting like they're not impressed, or maybe they're not impressed by other people who claim to have abilities. There's something about him that is in their ego. He thinks that he has the scepter, that he has some kind of ancient occult knowledge, and that he could have possibly went to other countries to retrieve, possibly in Europe. He could have visited some kind of castle where he learned some kind of occult knowledge that he brought back.
In your closet.
In your closet. So it said in your closet. Yeah, he could have brought it back with him. Put the book in his closet because he knows everything now that he read that book. You know, that's what it feels like. It's my light. I like a warm lighting. Okay. I think we're off to a good start. I'm getting an idea of this guy. What else? Sparrow. What are these? I never use these. Let me use them. Tell me about this guy. What do you want me to know? Let's do the moon. I feel. How does he feel? The player. He a player. He a player. Multiple people at the same time. They have incredibly good time management. That's funny. So, not super open emotionally or emotionally available. Needing to have multiple people in his roster. Possibly a sex addict or addicted to having their ego stroked with this ancient knowledge they have, or they think they have. I gotta say, so far, I'm not impressed. It's fun to pretend you have magic powers. It's sad if you believe it's real. Well, John, why don't you go read the Epstein files on our TikTok and you'll see exactly who believes in magic and that it is 100% real. And if you want to believe it's not, that's fine. But there are people who rule the world who use ancient, dark, magical practices. So you're going to have to get out of your level of consciousness and expand your mind a little more to what's going on around you. You sound drunk? Oh, well, I don't drink. I'm allergic to alcohol. The influencer. Dating these archetypes may be somewhat uncomfortable as well as frustrating, as they are spending too much time entertaining other things except for the connection. Yeah. That's under I think. So he could have been using this magic that he thought he was so good at to influence people he was in different relationships with. He could have been a manipulator, making people feel guilty, making people, do things that he wanted to do, even if they communicated to him that they weren't comfortable. He was very masculine, very intellectual, not a lot of feminine energy here, not able to emote properly or communicate emotions or even be open or receptive emotionally. But absolutely influencing people possibly with this ancient occult knowledge. Indirect communication leads to mind reading. Love. Under love. Yeah. Possibly abusing. If this is my father, he is a freaking warlock. He's a freaking warlock. A stupid, jerky, egotistical freaking warlock. John must have lost his job or something. Very angry soul. Well, he's probably feeling lonely and sad and looking for emotional reactions to make himself feel better. So he's more than welcome to stay if he wants to feel a little love without needing an emotional response. 1910s. So indirect communication leads to mind reading. Didn't I start the reading off talking about a divination abuse? You absolutely cannot use divination to tap into people's energy and then go to them and say, I know what you're thinking. I know all about you. No, you can't do that. Indirect communication leads to mind reading. That could have been what he would do if somebody wasn't impressed with his magical wand. I don't mean to laugh, but this guy's a clown so far. And if this is my father, I'm embarrassed, honestly. Confirmation. Oh my gosh. Well, my mom really knows how to choose him, She fell for it. Well, if she didn't fall for it, I wouldn't be here, so. So, thank you. Okay, so that's under love. So, using divination with women to tap into their energy and then pretend that he can read their mind and know what they're thinking and know what they want and then claim that he loves them, and then they fall in love with him and he's emotionally unavailable and he influences them to do what he wants. Not the best guy, you guys. But this could be why I'm psychic. This could be why I was born psychic. Soulmate. Under I act. Yeah, didn't I just say? Using divination to make women fall in love with him. Aggression, sex drive. This guy's got a sex addiction. And he's doing some kind of mental manipulation but doing divination abuse on the women he dates in order to keep them bound to him, to keep them impressed by his magical skills. What a clown. Oh, look what just came out when I said clown. The jokester. Under I grow. You will never feel bored once you start dating a funny person. Okay. So someone who he could have been funny. Maybe that's part of his appeal. You know, he was very charismatic. Feel anger. Under religion, too. Are you fucking kidding me? If this is my father, I am so embarrassed by this person. He could have been like a leader of like some kind of religious movement or some kind of cult that was full of women. He could have been the only man, or there were very little men. Oh my god. What else? Twin flames, life's self-teacher. Wow. Under I achieve. Restriction, discipline. This could have been my mother's twin flame. Maybe that's why it was so tumultuous between them. He lacked discipline, structure. He was the dark side. Or I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea which one he was. I mean, he doesn't sound... He don't sound too responsible so far. Okay, this person. Okay, so... Definitely some kind of twin flame here. I achieve Saturn. The rings of Saturn. With wisdom and honor. He could have had so he could have been very into it's like so weird what I'm feeling. It's like this embarrassment of how he abused his spiritual abilities, but at the same time, like, I probably wouldn't have the abilities I had when I was born if it weren't for him in some way. So it's this weird false positive feeling. Okay. He could have been very learned in like occult practices through reading and stuff. He could have taught himself a lot of esoteric knowledge, and that could be why he was so in his ego about his abilities, because there's something about him that may have felt like he was very structured and disciplined and had a lot of wisdom about this. But there's something he's missing. Struggling artist, yeah. Didn't I say he made a song? He was considered himself an artist. Spirit just said emotions. Here's this guy who abuses spiritual practices, uses his esoteric knowledge and divination abuse to pick up women and satiate his sex addiction. Okay, creating some kind of group or religious philosophical group that was mostly women. Julia, and he would use tarot cards to read people's energy without their permission. That's divination abuse. And then pretend for the women who weren't impressed by his esoteric facade, would read their energy and then, you know, make them fall in love with him because he's cheating, essentially. Yeah. Struggling artist under I Evolve and Spirit Study Emotions, but he's lacking the feminine energy. He knows nothing, for all the esoteric knowledge he has, he knows nothing about his own emotions. He knows nothing about the feminine aspect or being a balanced whole person. He's operating in his ego completely. And he's trying to be an artist, like some kind of song maker, trying to progress himself like he's some awakened, rebellious, original high thinker. Sorry, Father, but you ain't that. You are not that. Julia, Diana, the neat freak. And he also has some control problems. He has to control the outcome of everything. Everything has to be a particular way. Oh my god, I remember something about. Oh my god, I'm recalling a memory. I told you divination can recall memories. That's what Spirit said it was used for in ancient times, to recall, to reclaim cords that you don't know are attached to you. So there was a memory that just came to me about when I went to visit his house, because him and my mom were not together, and I don't know anything about any of that. Hey Drake, thanks for being here. We're doing an energy experiment to see if we can use divination to recall lost traumatic incidences, to reveal truth, to heal it, for personal use. And I went, and he was remarried to somebody named Joni or something, or Joan or something like that. And she gave me the weirdest vibe. She had long straight hair past her butt, and they liked everything in a really particular way, and they wouldn't let me touch anything. And the only thing they would give me to play with was this notebook and 2 pens, and they were like blue and yellow. And I remember thinking, like, I was like this. I was like, okay, and I couldn't touch anything. So this says neat freak. So that just brought that memory back to me. They can detect the differences between the scent of cleanliness and that of filth masked by debris within seconds. So yeah, so some kind of OCD, neat freak, and something about his abilities, his spirituality, his intuition. It was an illusion. The way he was acting in his spiritual abilities. What's the illusion that he was in with that? That he was some kind of influencer. The psychologist. That he was a psychology consultant. That he knew everything. That there was no telling him, you can't. He thought he was empowered by using, and he could regenerate himself. And he had an obsession with the occult, with esoteric knowledge. There's something that he could have even possibly been dabbling in sex magic. This fucking guy, man. Wow. Psst. Spirit said stare. He could have tried dabbling in many different divination practices, like scrying, mirror staring, candle gazing, things like that. He's just a know-it-all, man. This is just a know-it-all. Can't tell him nothing. He's the end-all, be-all. He read books, and so he's the most knowledgeable. But he lacks emotions. He lacks movement of expression, confirmation. He's got a sex addiction. He's creating this freaking religion or cult full of women because what's he lacking? Life of the party. Yeah, it's always a party. What's he lacking? He ain't spiritual. He's lacking the spiritual. He's all in his mind. He's taking all this esoteric knowledge and applying it the way that he sees fit. He's not in relationship with his spirit team. He's not taking responsibility for the pain he causes. He's abusing spiritual practices. So this was in reverse, the spiritual. No matter the situation or the exact emotion you might be experiencing, your partner knows and understands exactly what's going on. In reverse. No, he didn't know what's going on, but he likes to. There's something he learned in Europe, possibly in a castle, or in Germany specifically. Red. Spirit said red. Where he learned some kind of possibly like something from an old book or something that is very ancient, some kind of ancient esoteric magical practice. He calls himself a warlock or a dark magician or a magician, but that's not what he is. Okay. Was he in a fertility cult, possibly? Ugh. Well, from what I'm finding out about my family, it's possible. It's quite possible. Tell me more about this relationship and with my mother and this person. I'm being very vulnerable. I don't know this man personally, but supposedly this is my Passover father. Okay, tell me more. Tell me about the relationship between him and my mom. A taxi driver was called to take a group of passengers to the train station. The station is normally an hour away, but with traffic being extra heavy, it took a full hour and a half. On the return trip, the traffic was still as heavy, and yet it took only 90 minutes. Why? There's a no difference. An hour and a half is the same as 90 minutes. No way. Mm-mm. No.
Self-doubter.
Oh, the self-doubter. Spirit's like, the first thing that comes to your mind, say it, because it's usually the right thing. And then I was like, no way. And Spirit said, the self-doubter. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. So about him and my mom, she could have been a prostitute, or if she didn't take money for sex, it was like a one night stand and she was hoping to gain something out of it or something like that. If she didn't take like literal money, just a Jezebel spirit. I say that because taxi driver, when I see the word taxi, I always think of Jodie Foster in that movie where she was a 12-year-old prostitute with the taxi driver. So he may have picked her up at a train station, asking her if she wanted a ride because she didn't want to wait for the bus or for the train. And there is no difference. An hour and a half is the same as 90 minutes. So it's like, when you have sex with people to get something out of them, even if it's not money, that's prostitution. Oh, was it Brooke Shields? Oh, thank you. I think there is one with Jodie Foster as well. Thank you, though. Let me see. I think the one with Jodie Foster's Taxi. But let's see. Who's in the movie Taxi? Oh. Who's in the movie Taxi? No, not that one. They said the Queen Latifah one. Not that one. Oh, here. It said 1976. It's Jodie Foster. It's Jodie Foster. She was like 12 years old at the time. Oh, Jiminy Crickets. Okay. Okay. Sid Shady, a notorious jewel thief, lay dead by the side of the tracks. He had been on a train westbound from Calgary. Committee. The train had passed by the spot an hour earlier. Shadow quickly examined the body, then slipped his sunglasses on and walked towards the sinking sun and the luggage containing Shady's clothes. Further down the tracks, Shadow found another bag containing money and jewelry. Looks like Shady was about to be robbed and jumped to escape. Officer Bob Slack, it's most obvious that our Mr. Shady did not leave the train voluntarily. If he was even alive when he left, stated Shadow, why does Shadow feel this way? The luggage belonging to Shady left the train after he did. Shadow was walking west toward the bags, which was the same direction the train was going. So it's funny we have another train reference. So definitely something about picking her up at a train station. She could have possibly... Let's continue. She could have possibly just got done with another human that she stole from. Possibly money or jewelry. I just want to say that whatever comes out about my parents is not me. Okay. I would never do that. Okay. Let's look in literature of the Western world. Spirit, what in the world is going on? What is this? Please, let's continue, as Spirit said. Oh, hey, Nomadic Pariah. Thanks for being here. The ancient world. Acetialus? Acetialus. Agamemnon. In love with a new lord. In ill repute, I am as practiced as I am in dyeing bronze. That is my boast. Teeming with the truth, I am proud, a woman of nobility. I'd hurl it from the roofs. She turns sharply, enters the palace. Dashel. There's a dashel. Let me see what that means. Dashel? It's a dashel? Okay, I gotta spell it. Dashhiell. A corporation. Masculine. Dashel is a masculine given name and surname of French origin derived from Dashiel, meaning from heaven or sky. Huh. From heaven. She speaks well, but it takes no seer to know. She only says what's right. Menelaus, is he home too, safe with the men, the power of the land, dear king? I doubt that lies will help my friends in the lean months to come. Help us somehow, tell the truth as well, but when the two conflict, it's hard to hide out with it. He's lost, gone from the fleets, he and his ship, it's true. After you watched him pull away from Troy, or did some storm attack you all and tear him off the line? They're like a marksman, the whole disaster cut to a word. How do the escorts give him out? Escorts. I'm telling you, my mom could have been looking for a John. And could have found one who wanted to take her off the tracks because she was speaking so well, like she was from heaven. But she's proud. She may have boasted how she's a person of nobility. He could have seen her as somebody who's teeming with the truth. But she's some kind of escort. He didn't know what a big storm she would bring into his life, into his earth life. So much of a storm that it affecting that it angered the gods. It angered God. This blessed day they met will follow with ruin, and better to keep their trophies apart. Because he's a runner, and he's about to be faced with tears and 2 wounds in one. Because he's going to become a victim of this woman. Damn. Of this escort. Bloody Mary. Possibly someone named Mary. It says blood in the brace of Bloody Mary. A destruction. One Bloody Mary, one who packs destruction shaft to shaft. Dragging her pain to the battle with fury and high time. Possibly high. Possibly they get high together. He brought her home to salvation, singing out to her heart. Because he bought her bullshit about being this proud woman of nobility and truth. But she ended up, again, angering God. Making an enemy for ages. Sealed a pact. Made some kind of pact with wretched squadrons. Lunging in for the kill. Brawling. Fighting. Gored and rushed and bucked a hurricane, pounding rain. Yeah, they had a really dark, tumultuous relationship. This says, stampeding into the darkness, lashed upon and spun by the savage shepherd's hand. And said, angered the God twice. Okay. Nightmares. Yeah. She ended up being a nightmare, god of war. She ended up being someone who was his enemy. But she made herself look like she was some kind of noble woman. But she's an escort. You guys, I think I might have been a honey trap. I think I come from a honey trap. Is that something you had never considered your mom to be involved in? And if she's still with us, would she divulge this to you? She is still with us. There was a time in the past where I put my mom on such a high pedestal and saw her as somebody who could do no wrong. And I'll always love my mom, and I feel bad for her. I feel sad that she wasn't who I thought she was. And as I pursue 1900s, as I pursue healing and I ask for the clarity and for the truth to be given, Spirit gives me drops of the truth, and I'm starting to realize that my mother is not who I thought she was, or who she portrayed herself to be. And I'm not mad about it, but I also, she had a horrible childhood, and I'm not making excuses for her, but I also am learning about soul contracts, and Spirit said twin flame, so this had to be a twin flame dynamic that was the dark part of the journey of the twin flame, so I could come into existence to do what I have to do in this carnation. And I couldn't be at the level of awareness I'm at if it weren't for these two dark twin flames coming together and having the opposite experience that I'm having in my life. me and my significant other are twin flames too, but instead of having the dark parts, we're having the light parts. But it wouldn't be this way if I didn't go through what she put me through. But fortunately, because I was born psychic and born with spirit guidance and having contact with them my whole life, like ever since I can remember, all the traumatic experiences or memories, I only remember the aftermath. And because during the incidences that I was put in, I was with my spirit team, I don't have recollection of the actual moment of impact. So I'm grateful for that. But like I said, we don't understand how it works in the astral realm. I know you were special. You're a twin flame baby. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. My father used to punch out horses at the fair. Oh, crazy, man. Just unhealed, unhealed. And so I have a lot of compassion for her because, she's really just operating in the mind of when she had her ultimate wound, and that was very young. And then you grow up, and just because you're a grown up doesn't mean that you're emotionally grown up, or that we're not given the tools or taught how to come into emotional intelligence. And so a lot of elderly people today have the emotional intelligence of the moment they were traumatized. They're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 years old. So he was a minister. Oh, really? Your father was a minister? Well, I wonder if that was beneficial for you. Did you reject it, or did it help you come into your own emotional intelligence, or was it restricted by the beliefs? Or I'm wondering how that unfolded for you. I am genuinely curious. So I didn't realize that my mom was this way, or which honestly, looking back and understanding her trauma, like, why would I ever think that if you're not overcoming not much, well, we'll have to talk about it more in depth at some time. Because I'm curious just to know what it's like to have a father as a minister. Because it's like a lot of pressure to be, it takes a lot of time and life experience to be in alignment with divine principles. So you might be surprised to know I grew up Jehovah's Witness. Really, Robin? Really? I'm fascinated by that. And what made you switch? Like, what was the age where you decided to go a different path, I wonder? I'm not really sure what Jehovah's Witness is. Let me see. That could have something to do with this man. Jehovah's Witness? Let me see. Jehovah's Witness are non-Trinitarian, restorationist Christian denomination known for their distinct door-to-door ministry, strict doctrinal adherence, and refusal to participate in political or military activities. I lived here. Oh my gosh, that could have been the same as my bio dad. Or he could have had strong religious beliefs related to this Jehovah's Witnesses. 9 million members. They believe they are the restorers of the original first century Christianity, which they believe was corrupted after the death of the apostles. They are heavily directed by a central governing body based in Warwick, New York. They believe that Jehovah is the only true Almighty God and that Jesus is his first creation, separate from God rather than part of a Trinity. They view the Holy Spirit not as a person, but as God's active force or power. Oh, they believe in the 144,000 anointed believers will rule Christ in heaven. I think 26. Oh, okay. So that's still pretty young. I'd say that seems fair. Well, what Spirit tells us about 144, just a side note, is that it's not like an amount of people, it's a frequency that you match, that you come into alignment with, and it's based off of Christ consciousness. It's extremely cultish. You can't think for yourself, and I tapped into my psychic words. Oh. So see, another soul contract, right? Was just reading a book about Jehovah's Witnesses by a lady named Barbara, who spilled lots of truths. Well, they say every religion has a truth to it. It's the men that are receiving the messages that distort the messages based on their projections, right? Their unhealed wounds, and then they'll like make the religion based off of that. That's kind of like this guy we're reading. That's kind of what he's doing, but he's doing it maybe under the guise of religion, but he's using esoteric, occult things. I don't know what yet, but that's fascinating, you guys. I love learning about you. But they also believe they are the only... Yes. Yeah, that's what it says. Which isn't true. Everybody has the capability of attuning themselves to 144,000 hertz. Yeah, Spirit said old mind. That's old mind thinking. The Jehovah's Witnesses. So, okay, so we're getting to know a little bit about this relationship. She definitely came as if she was some noble woman, singing out to his heart, Bloody Mary, dragging him. It was a dark twin flame alignment, and it needed to happen. It needed to happen for me to be born, for me to have abilities. It was a necessary evil. It was a necessary evil for the ages. We all sealed a pact to show the world, to out the world of wretched squadrons looming in the night. Wow. Stop.
Give up.
Give up. We were the pick of a generation scattered through the wrecks of broken spars. We needed a hull that was untouched. No mortal could grip the death of a tiller. The embodiment of Lady Luck. She pulled through to save us. To be an anchor. To be an anchor on a rocky coast. To clear the sea hell. Trusting Lady Luck in the cold light of day. Wow, I like that. To bring a fresh perspective to punished armadas. Wow, that's poetic. To bring peace. Wow. Through chaos is born a lady of peace. That's me. But your nose is crooked. Thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me. So, like I said, a soul contract. So what else? We all made a pact in the ethers to do this dance, I guess. Because, well, I don't know about that. To be a great teacher. Plato, the ancient world. Dancing to To greet Athena at the house of brass. Evolve, evolve, evolve. I'm just reading the book. It says, to make certain that we could have a great teacher. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Oh, thank you. To make the most influential thinker in the history of Western culture. To believe that dialectic in the form of oral give and take was a higher form of discourse and a more reliable avenue to wisdom than written. Oh my gosh, that's so funny, because that's what we do right here, what we're doing. We're speaking to each other. That's so funny. To be a reliable record of belief. To be held in high reverence on your own day, since the day you were born, with a gift of written work to survive more completely than any other. Damn. To reflect dedication to the spoken word and to the form of dialogue. Maybe that's why I'm really good at talking, I guess. This is crazy. They needed the two to concentrate mainly on ethical, political, and metaphysical issues. But they also have depth and touch in many other important matters that have preoccupied philosophers, including issues in mathematics, logic, and physical science. Well, I don't know about that math part. They needed to come together to create a pioneering thinker who breaks ground, who knows how to honor absolute relationship with spirit, that have goodness and beauty and reality, and grounds themselves and as independent of the accidents or the observations that they attribute to the human experience and mind. Aww. To know truth through reason. Oh, I'm gonna cry. To know truth through reason and through mystery. To bring happiness through generosity. Oh. To make the sense out of the absurd. Oh, I'm crying. I'm crying. So did you only be with your dad a couple times? Yeah. Yeah, I remember, oh, I'm crying. Thank you, Spirit. That was very sweet of you. Thank you. I remember 2 times, and then I just recalled a time. So I remember 3 times total being with him. And I don't know, I've never seen them together, or I don't remember them together. I don't remember them ever talking together. I don't remember them ever being in the same room together. I think that I was just a honey trap, just a toxic one night stand that, my mom tried to turn into something more, but they were so toxic together because they were dark twin flames. So it was the power needed to birth me. Me. So very interesting. Okay. Let's look in the good news. What else can you tell me about this person or this dynamic? So there's something about spiritual abuse, divination abuse. Tell me more about the relationship. Like, how did that play out? Is there anything I need to see here? Like, what is unseen? Jesus and Peter. John 21. After they had eaten, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these others do? Yes, Lord, he answered. You know that I love you. Jesus said to him, take care of my lambs. A second time, Jesus said to him, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Yes, Lord, he answered. You know that I love you. Jesus said to him, take care of my sheep. A third time, Jesus said, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Peter became sad because Jesus asked him the third time, do you love me? And so he said to him, Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you. Take care of my sheep. I'm telling you the truth. When you were young, you used to get ready and go anywhere you wanted to. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands and someone else will tie you up and take you where you don't want to go. In saying this, Jesus was indicating the way in which Peter would die and bring glory to God. Then Jesus said to him, follow me. What? What the hell? Don't do coke with her. Well, don't worry, I don't do coke. I used to, but I don't anymore. I feel like this is a weird passage. It's kind of giving me like, well, if you loved me, you would. I'm not saying Jesus is like that, but it is kind of weird the way it's written. Jesus said to Peter, do you love me? I don't know. I just don't feel like Yeshua would be like, do you love me? Now go put my sheep away. I don't know. Does anyone understand that? Like in the literal sense? In the symbolic sense, I'm getting like a chaser-runner dynamic. You know, like trying to make this person love them, but this person's emotionally unavailable. You know, do you love me now? What if I do this for you? Do you love me now? Well, if a conditional type of love, like a really push and pull, but not in like a good way. It was like a push away and then like a gaslighting kind of, like a little bit of gaslighting. I don't know if this is the mother or the father. I don't know which one's which. Questions about the unmarried and the widows. Corinthians. Now concerning what you wrote about unmarried people, I do not have a command from the Lord, but I give my opinions as one who by the Lord's mercy is worthy of trust. Considering the present distress, I think it's better for a man to stay as he is. Do you have a wife? They didn't get married. They weren't married. If you do marry, you have committed sins. You have a committed sin. You must marry someone who hasn't committed a sin. Okay. If you marry this, you have to marry someone who hasn't. So there's some kind of sin that this says woman. So I don't know, there may have been some kind of sin that was committed that made them not want to marry because they couldn't look at them the same way. This could have been the thing that broke them up or that caused them to not want to be with them. There's some kind of sin here. What was the sin? What was the sin that made them made them not marriage material? Forgotten path. Something that's forgotten? Something that's been forgotten? What is this? What brings me joy? Love. Some kind of sin. What brings me joy? Under I achieve. And love under I dream. So what brings me joy is kind of making me feel kind of nervous. Like, because look at her smile. It looks a little mischievous. Like, what is it that brings you joy? Like, what is that about? What is the thing that brings you joy? What's that? What is the sin? Jealous, envious family. Someone who's jealous and envious? Is that the sin? What, envy is a sin, right? Huh. If there's any, that could be why dream is under illusion and love is under I dream and illusion, because if you have the spirit of envy or jealousy and your love is conditional, that's not love, right? So that's an illusion. What was the sin? What was the sin that made them something from the past? Chose a karmic. Cheating. A cheater. Someone cheated. Can't marry a cheater. If you cheat on them, you can't marry them. I just saw faithful in reverse. Sagittarius. Sagittarius could be significant. Yeah, the past. They cheated. Afraid. Something that someone's in karmic debt. Chose a karmic. Confirmation. Okay. Yes. Dark energy attachments. Secrets. Take accountability. You have Aries and Sagittarius. A frenemy. Could have slept with a friend. A Leo. Could have slept with my dad's friend. Because all they do is lie. Wow. Wow. Slept with, someone slept with someone's friend. And that's why that was the sin. Because they were envious or jealous or or they could have slept with, a family's person, because I do have, where is it? Oh. I did have it. I had, something about family. Maybe I didn't take it out. So I have karmic parents, basically. I just got karmic parents. Tell me more about this sin, or what are the secrets? Lightly touch parts of the target's body while whispering what each part is. Dark energy attachments, secrets, take accountability. Touching someone's body parts. They may have got caught touching someone's I almost said family. I meant to say frenemy. Touching a family member's body parts. Say your target's name over and over like you're having sex with them. There's something about there's something about catching someone touching a family member, possibly having relations with a family member. There's something about catching someone having relations with a family member. Dark energy attachments, secrets, they lie, karmic relationship. Are you starting to feel better yet? I don't know. I don't know if I feel worse or better. I'm detached. Like I said, I don't even know if this is true. I'm just following the clues. But you can't heal what you can't reveal, right? Slurp your drink as loud as physically possible. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. This was sticking out of the box by itself, and this instantly 122 as well. This 122 on the time. This instantly reminds me of my mom. My stepfather was in prison, and we'd go visit him, and she would get fudgesicles out of the prison vending machines in the visiting room, and she would slurp and suck this fudge pop. Like, she'd put the whole thing in her mouth and like pull it out slowly, and at the time I was just it was so cringy. I was like, oh, why are you eating it like that? And she acted like it all innocent, like she didn't know what it looked like. But now in retrospect, slurp your drink as loud as physically possible, that's her. I'm gonna get some tarot. I gotta clarify now. This is too much. Spirit, what are you saying? What are you saying right now? What are you saying? Are you saying that somebody was sleeping with a family member? Got caught sleeping with a family member? Three of Pentacles. Yes. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Collaboration, teamwork. Camera? Something on camera? Oh my god, and there's a yes here. Secrets. If it wasn't a family member, it was definitely a friend of somebody. Dreams again over love. Lots of options, multiple opportunities. Fantasy, illusion, hallucinations. Huh. There's someone in this energy that's could possibly have severe mental illness, like to the point of illusion, like not able to see themselves at all. Tower. Anthrax wrote a song about that. Let me write that down because I'd like to hear it. Here, let me put it. Do you know what the song's called? Is it called Incest? Just kidding. Are you a ghost? We're all ghosts in a shell. Ghost in a shell. Feel like I fell. Feeling unwell. Not here to conform. I'm here to rebel. That's what it's called? Keep it in the family? Let me look it up.
Agony.
Agony. Oh my god. Family secrets are being revealed right now. This is a tower. This was a tower for them, for whoever got caught sleeping with a family member, because it's what was too much for whoever to walk away from. I don't want to marry you now. You just slept with your family member. I don't want to marry you.
I love this.
Spirit said I love this. Or that's my bio dad. Because according to my mother, it was all his fault. But it kind of sounds like it was her fault. Just saying. All right, let me look this song up. Anthrax, Keep It in the Family. Anthrax, Keep It in the Family lyrics. I can't play it because of copyright infringement, but Persistence of Time. That's a funny album name for this situation, because it definitely was kept a secret for a long time.
Drain camera.
Is this it? Wait a second. Okay, here we go. The public enemy is not the man who speaks his mind. The public enemy is the man who goes and acts blind. Didn't I just say somebody might have mental health? They may have a serious, mental health situation where they literally don't see themselves, or how chaotic they are, or how much upheaval they cause, or confusion. The collapse of an old way of life, shattering false beliefs. Yeah, this person acts blindly, searching for an answer that they'll never find, an action from reaction, and you can't make a retraction. Once you put your head out, and then you're blue in the face. As you try to state your case, you can think with your dick, but it can't shout. Manipulation. Yo, I try to understand what the hell is going on. I can't imagine how things ever got so far gone. You separatists say you want your own state. I'll give them a state of unconsciousness. Oh shit! Anthrax coming through with the lyrics. I like that. Retribution, no solution. Constitution. Discrimination through the nation, reigning hatred. I yell when there's schism. You must rebel. I yell so you'll hear. I yell I refuse to live in your hell. I'm the truth. I don't keep it in the family. Live your life. Take someone else. Keep it in the family. I am what you fear. You can't keep it in the family. You've got the longest way to fall. And I just got the tower. Come through, Vince. Come through, Vince. Yes, guitar player is married to Meatloaf daughter, Scott Ian. Oh. Tarot me, please. Should we call her live? My mother would never in a million years ever admit to anything that would make her look bad. Yes, Vince. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. She will deny anything. I once confronted her about doing drugs because I saw her doing it, and I found her pipe, and she denied it completely, so we were screaming at each other. Even though I saw it. I saw it. So I doubt she'd ever admit to this. But that is her trauma. You know, her dad abused all of them sexually. So I'm not surprised that she's projecting it onto other people. Keep it in the family. The real world's outside your door. You can't keep it in the family. You've got the longest way to fall. And so, Tower, she's fallen. or this made her fall from her tower, her white ivory tower of nobility that she claimed to be so noble, but she keeps it in the family. Keep it in the family. Don't even try to tell me what you think is right. When to you blacks are, oh, it's getting a little,
You are strong.
it's getting a little, explicit. And you expect to be taken seriously, but your actions, they're more than curiously juvenile. You emulate what you hate. Oh, oh my God. And you don't even know why you feel this way, because daddy hated this and mommy hated that. And your own ability to reason's like a tire gone flat. I try to understand what the hell is going on. I can't imagine how things ever got so far gone. You separatists say you want your own state. I'll give them a state of unconsciousness. Damn. Carl. Spirit said Carl. And that's so funny because my mom had a boyfriend named Carl and she cried for like a week straight in her bedroom when he broke up with her. What? Carl? What? Carl? What? No. No way. There's no way. There's no way. No. Spirit, are you saying that Carl is my father? This bitch didn't even know who my father was. Wow. Because I'll tell you right now, Carl is not on my birth certificate. It's Michael Dennis Petriconi. But if she cheated on him with his friend and got pregnant, boom, tower. And then Carl caught her doing it with a family member, possibly. And that's why he broke up with her, and she cried for a week. Yes. Carl is my cat's name. Stop it. That's so funny. LOL. That's hilarious. Well, maybe that's just a coincidence. I don't know. Carl could have been independently wealthy, successful, stable, prosperous, abundant, Nine of Pentacles energy, mature, but could have possibly, thought with his penis. Could have been Michael's friend, because it says frenemy. Or she could have wanted to make Michael jealous because she, I don't know, something like that. Because she has a dark energy attachment, probably from her childhood. A secret. Yes. Oh my gosh. Why did Carl break up with her? Childhood issues, sexual abuse, bad news. Someone who doesn't plan for tomorrow. I told you. He broke up with her because of her childhood issues, and she possibly projects sexual abuse onto family members. And he may have saw that or caught that, and that was the sin. I can't be with you after that. That's gross. Can't be with someone like you. I'm in Nine of Pentacles. So he left her. They both left her. That was the tower. Wow. Tell me about this breakup. Tell me about this breakup. She thought it was going to be her wish coming true. That it was going to be fulfillment and positivity and optimism, and that she had confidence in this union. Well, what happened? I mean, I guess we know what happened. The tower happened. Let's see, how can we find that out? Let me see. Reflection. Being away from you has allowed me to gain clarity. It could have been like off and on. He could have, oh, that could be that one card. Where was it? It was in the good news where it's like, do you love me? Well, do this for me. Something about reflection. Someone's reflecting. Neglected. I failed to give you what you need. In reverse. Interference. Oh, interference. Are you talking about me? Yes, at the top of the deck. Aww. Significant information. Fairness. She was unconcerned about the feelings of others by keeping this information from people who need to know it. Because why? The world in reverse. Because of this disappointment and burden and lack of completion, they didn't want to share the significant information of who my father was. Wow. Unconcerned about the feelings of others because of childhood abuse and sexual abuse. Wow. Did Carl know that they had a... Did Carl know they had a child, possibly? No. No. Abandonment. Abandoning plans, walking away, letting go. He wouldn't have let go if he knew that he had a child in this honey, that this honey trap was set. Honestly, I think it was an accident, my birth, my conception. This was a deliberate choice. Or, I don't know. I have choice here. To pass, decision, planning. She may have thought it was punishment to withhold this information from him because she wanted to get back at him for leaving her. And so she thought in her mind, well, I'm not going to tell you about your child then. I'm going to say it was the other guys because you don't want to be with me anyway, so I'll show you. Wow. Very immature. Because she knew that this person, or whoever the father was, is a 9 of Pentacles. They would have wanted to confirmation. They would have wanted to take care of the child. But this mother, tell me about what this mother wants for the child. To rule the child like God. To be the controller. To have control over the actions of the child. To be able to cause challenges. To stop good news. To cause financial disasters. Because she blames the child. She blames the child for the man leaving her. She puts all her anger and frustration on the child to make the child suffer for the person leaving her. Injustice, dishonesty, lack of accountability. And I have that right here. Take accountability. unfairness, karmic avoidance, and I have right here karmic debt because of this secret. This is why it's a tower, because it was kept from the child, because this person didn't want to admit or take accountability for the reason why she's not a viable wife, why no one wants to make her a wife. And it all stems from Carl. I never seen her cry for anyone for that long. She wouldn't come out of her room. She was sobbing uncontrollably. Abuse of power, rigidity, stubbornness, lack of discipline, lack of control, absentee father paternity issues. I can't make it up. I cannot make it up. Repetitive cycles. Cheating, pretending to know more than you really do, poor quality. What else? What else did she keep about this father? Let's do the guilty cards. What else did she keep about this father? Get a dance party started. Have a drawer full of sex toys. They were freaky. They could have done orgies together or something, or been part of this group of people who do sex magic. Wear something ridiculous as a fashion statement. He could have been really silly, really funny, really gets the party started. Could have been a photographer, or like to take lots of pictures, or could have took pictures of something specific. Cracking an inappropriate joke. Yeah, it could have been very funny. So, why did he leave her? Why did he leave her? No contact. He went no contact with her, I just saw. Because he was healing. He was recovering from something. He had feeling again, real connection. Oh, because he may have had unfinished business with somebody else. He may have left her for another person because she had childhood abuse problems and she was a walking red flag, and he had unfinished business with somebody he had a real connection with. But he got her pregnant and he didn't know about it because she never told him. Yeah, and she was rejected by him, hurting. And so I don't think she honestly knew who the father was. Or maybe she did, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe at the top of the deck. I think she had a good idea. But because he left her for another woman, she couldn't handle that. It hurt her ego. Thinking of you, yeah. She probably still thinks of him to this day. The one that got away because of her weirdness. Something about sex. Something about sexual abuse. Yeah, she always wanted a second chance with him. Unemployed. Yeah, because she saw his relationship, because he's in the Nine of Pentacles, as being, she'd be able to live unemployed, be a housewife. She has this weird dream of being a wife and a mother, and she doesn't have to go to work, and she lives beyond her means, though. You know, she's very materialistic, and she's in debt all the time, and she's in karmic debt because of all the chaos she brings. Divorce, pain. She thought that this was a soulmate because of how independent and wealthy they were. But the intimacy was weird. He thought that she was weird when it came to sex. In reverse. And so she may have, let him come in and out, but there was some weird, like, sexual abuse, childhood trauma, that spiritual attack? No. Spiritual attack? No. Are you fucking kidding me? As if I couldn't get any worse. Spiritual attack? What are you saying, Spirit? Are you saying Carl or someone was spiritually attacked? Maybe. A decision was made blindly. My mom was evil. Well, if this is my mom, she's evil too. Oh my gosh, and the bull. She's a Taurus. Masculine force.
You can trust us.
Dominance, control. She wanted dominance over Carl. She wanted him to come back to her. It's giving love spell. Touching the boundless limits of the universe. Multiple masks. If this isn't my mom, this is someone's mom, and she is scary. Spirit, are you saying that she did a love spell on Carl? Or one of these people? I just saw the devil. Yes, romantic proposals, offers, invitations, taking action, attraction, affection, ideal man or woman. That's why he left her. Because you can't put... If you put a love spell on somebody who's actually in love with somebody else, they'll hate you and they'll go to the person that they're actually in love with. Back together, unfinished business, proposal, forgiveness. When you put a love spell on somebody who's in love with someone else, they will turn around and hate your guts and you will repel them. You'll be disgusting to them. And they'll go back to the person they love. Over here. Oh my God, my mom used a love spell on him. Because she didn't want him to leave the moon. That's the secret. That's the illusion, the deception. Things are not what they seem. Past conditioning affects present. Wow. I don't even know. I met Carl like 2 times. I don't even remember talking to him. Is Carl dead? Death. The death card. But it was in reverse. Oh, so that means yes, because no would be upright. The death card, yes, he's crossed over? Damn. Spiritual... Do not even tell me. Don't even tell me. Don't even... Did she unalive Carl with magic? Did she unalive Carl with magic?
Ugly.
Ugly. Yes. Are you fucking kidding me? This cannot be my story. This can't be. This can't be. This is somebody else's story. I don't know. A leader. Aries. Yes. Impulsiveness. Unexpected income. What?
I will appear.
I will appear. Are you saying that he found out that I was his at some point? Maybe. He wanted to move on to calmer waters and heal after the storm. He wanted to create stability. He may have went over...
You are optimistic. Mystic.
He may have went overseas. Oh, 10 swords in the back. 10 swords in his back. Spirit, are you saying that my mother told him about
More to the stories.
more to the stories? Are you saying that she may have revealed to him that that he could possibly have a child that she didn't, that she was too afraid to, she may have said, I'm too afraid to tell you the truth. I didn't know whose child it was, but I think it's yours. And he may have wanted to move forward to find out if the child was his or not. There's something about unexpected income. But she may have sent a spiritual attack to him because she was angry at him for not wanting to have a relationship with her. She did something impulsively because she created some kind of curse. She may have put 10 swords in his back, and he may have had some kind of unexpected income as a result that went to her after she put the nail in his coffin. Oh my god, is this for real? Is this for fucking real?
Portal.
Portal, Spirit. Is Dennis my father? No. Is Carl my father? Oh my god. I don't know if this is real, you guys. I don't know if this is true. Did my mom send spiritual warfare to Carl? Is she the reason that Carl is crossed over? Did she tell Carl about a child? Did Carl want to have a relationship with the child? Does Carl come from a wealthy family? I found out at 8, my oldest sister had a different dad and caused a divorce. Oh my god, really? That's very similar to this situation. Was she upset that Carl didn't want to be... Was she upset that... Was she very upset that Carl didn't want to be with her? Was Carl and Dennis friends? Were they all in a sex cult together?
Roger.
Did she know about magic because of Dennis? Did he teach her how to do certain things? Did he introduce her to practitioners? Did she abuse divination? Does she have relations with family members? Did Carl catch her having relations with a family member? No. Did she perform a love spell on Carl? Is that why he left her? Was he in love with someone else? Wow. Oh, sorry. Is she angry at the child because the child reminds her of him? Does she resent the child because it's his? Did she abuse the child because of her own resentment? Does she hate her child because it's Carl's child?
Walls hold secrets.
Wow. When I put on a mask and multiple masks right here. A card about the moments when we hide ourselves. Masks aren't always wrong. Sometimes they protect. But it matters to know, am I hiding now or living? Yes, my mom always said we turn out like our dad to us boys after he left. Oh, that is just so cruel. That's so cruel to say to a child. Did this mother use witchcraft?
Brother.
Does she have a brother who also uses witchcraft? She was the one that did everything. Carl, how did you die?
I make noises.
I make noises, he says. Carl, how did you die? Something about going overseas?
I'm only 8.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. I wanted to ask a question, but I forgot what the question was. Does this mother have a severe mental illness? Yes. Has she had an undiagnosed mental illness for a long time? Yes. Is it a severe personality disorder? Yes. Does she remember her actions sometimes? No. Is it due to the mental illness? Yes. Does this mother have multiple personality disorder? Yes. Should this mother seek treatment actively even though she is unaware of her actions? Yes. Should she commit herself to a psychiatric ward because she's unaware of her altar? Yes. Should people around her beware of her because she has altars that she cannot control that do horrible things? Yes. I'm just saying. Spirit's just saying. You may wanna in mountain say hello to Mike Hunt for me. Oh my god, I fell for that. She used to use a Ouija board when it first came out in the 70s, really. Well, if this isn't motivating to get processing your own trauma. Yeah, be sure you want to know. Spirit said tapping. Make sure you have some ways to process the information because what comes out may be beyond your comprehension, honestly. Energy, arrival, action. Yeah, energy manipulation. Puss in Boots, a liar. Damn. Wearing a mask. Wearing a mask of strength. The mask is a altar. It's a multiple personality disorder. It could have been amplified by this reading me, but she just had passed. Oh, really? Did she unalive herself by carbon monoxide? Um, when you use magic, I wished. Yeah, usually people with mental health disorders who have alters don't do that. COPD got her. Gotcha. Well, I don't know if your mom did witchcraft, but this one did. And she got it from this religious group she was in where she was picked up as an escort by a man who she slept with. And then they were toxic for each other. And then
What are the flashing lights?
and then she met his friend, Carl, who she fell madly in love with because he's funny and independent and wealthy, and she thought that he would look at her like a wifey material. And so to push her agenda, because that's what she wanted so badly, to be a wife and have a family and live a wife's life where she didn't have to work or anything, unemployed, but she has bad spending habits. She did a love spell on him, but he was in love with someone else. And so the love spell that she, learned from practitioners in this group backfired on her, and he ended up hating her and despising her, because that's what happens. That's why you don't do that, because he loves someone else, and so he left her. But he'd come back and have sex with her sometimes because he's a man, and no offense, there he was just indulgent. It says right here, indulgent. My mom stole from her own mom. We found after my grandmother. Oh my God, that's horrible. Well, this mother could have stole some kind of unexpected wealth from this that was supposed to go to the child, but it never went to the child because this mother lives beyond their means. And
I am Dexter.
And so she got pregnant, but she was seeing two men at the same time, but this person broke up with her. So instead of finding out who the father was, she just said, F Carl, I'm going to show him that he's a jerk and that he's going to miss me, and I'm going to control this outcome. And I don't know, there's something about maybe eventually she did tell him about me or about a child, and that's how she got unexpected wealth. But she did a spiritual warfare attack and took his life because he didn't want to be with her. He didn't want to be with her. He just wanted to move forward maturely and be able to take care of the child, like co-parenting, but with his other relationship. But she didn't want that. She's like, if I can't have you, then I don't, you can't have anybody, and I'm going to keep your child, and I'm never going to tell your child, and I'm going to ruin the child. So if the child ever grows up to be like you, prosperous and independent and wealthy and funny, there's no way they'll be able to grow up that way because I'm going to ruin them. And I hate this child because every time I look at the child, I see your face, and you didn't want me. You rejected me, just like my father and just like my mother, and from childhood wounds. If you knew my story, you would shit. This is crazy. Apparently, well, if this isn't my story, it's your story. I was doing an experiment to see if we can use, because Spirit said in ancient times, Spirit said planchette. Both of our mothers could have used the Ouija board and been in some kind of cult or something. But Spirit says in ancient times, messengers or diviners were utilized to reveal hidden traumas. So because nowadays everybody's identity is messed up because they have emotional tears in their field that are attributed to traumas they don't even remember and weren't even privileged to know. And so if this is us, there's a lot of secrets our mother kept that directly impact our emotions that we don't know. How would we ever know unless we divined it with spirit for spirit to reveal it? Planchette is my other cat's name. Oh my god, lol. I was like, what? I didn't see my dad for 20 years because of her. Well, same here. She purposely kept him away from the child because she was so immature and mad that he didn't want her, that she thought it would be a good idea to show him, to put 10 swords in his back, to be like, I'll show you. I'm not going to be your doormat. You want to be with someone else? You want to reject me? Well, I'm going to reject your child. Wow. Inability to cope. She caused a curse. What's happening with this mother now? What's happening with this mother now? She's going through a tough time. If she's crossed over, it says lesson learned. I just saw rock bottom. She's hitting rock bottom. Controversy. Caught. Yeah. Scandal. Disbelief. Hidden things revealed. Detective work. Secrets exposed. She's in hell. Hey. Wherever she is, she's in rock bottom. Vibes are not in sync. She's unable to soul search. The only option is to go within. This mother has was a twin flame activation for you to have spiritual abilities. You could possibly a narcissist right here. A soul contract. If this mother didn't do this to us, we wouldn't be at a level of self-awareness that we're at now, unfortunately. She was going to take it to the grave. Take it to the grave. Cold shoulder. Breakup. There could be people walking away from her because secrets are being revealed about who she really is. And that she's not who she says she is. She is not a noble woman. She doesn't tell the truth. She may have multiple personality disorder where she doesn't even remember when she gets in an emotional state. She detaches and she switches and she acts. That altar acts for her to defend her, to protect her, to do things to protect her. She told me my dad passed on May 17th and he passed on 27th, so I would not call him in vain. Oh my god. That is so mean. I just can't even imagine doing something like that. Burial. It was a karmic agreement, though, for you to exist. For you to be where you're at now. Found out at his funeral. Spirit just said burial. Wow. That's fucking crazy, man. I love Spirit. Spirit. Carl. Man. How can we heal it? How can we heal it? This was a doozy, you guys. Where there's a will, there's a way. Oh my god. My mother, I used to do horrible in school. She never helped me in school, ever. And one day she brought home this, I was in like 4th grade maybe, or 3rd grade, and she brought home this tape cassette thing that's called Where There's a Will, There's an A. And she didn't even like put it, she's just like, here you go.
I'll find you in your dreams.
Here you go. I'm in 3rd grade. I put it in and I watched it for like 10 minutes. No encouragement, no help. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's so funny. Where there's a will, there's an A. Greatest live ever. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, you're so funny. Always had a storm clouds above me. It might have been because this mother, she might have been trying, putting spiritual warfare over you, some kind of spells or something, so you would never gain independence. So you would never leave her. So you would never abandon her or reject her. Because she's a traumatized individual. Spirit says, be an individual. Divine love. Love heals all. Get a higher perspective.
My head.
See the signs. Receiving a true offer in your awakening. It's safe for you to shine now. You followed the signs to take the weight of the world off your shoulders because you allowed yourself to let go of things you cannot control. And every person has their own personalized study plan in this earth school. And to focus on your awakening and follow the signs to healing so you can receive guidance for true offerings. True offering takes what can be unbearable cross and returns it to love. Ooh. If I have to bear this cross and turn it into love, I see from a higher perspective that without her trauma and her childhood trauma and what she went through and what she put her own children through, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be the mother I am. I wouldn't be the kind of person I am. I wouldn't have worked so hard to be opposite of everything she is. And so I take great joy and pride in knowing that I refuse to continue what she did to me. I will not ever treat anyone like that or do the things she did to anyone else to make them feel the way that I felt growing up. I will never ever do that. In fact, I will take and accept what has happened to me to help others. I got away. I didn't talk to her for the last 5 years of her life. Oh, you guys. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me. You guys support me more than anyone in my family ever has, and I truly appreciate it. I hope that it helps to reveal things that need to heal like it does for me. You got to call her and release her by forgiving. Spirit said anvil. I think just like Vince, no contact is the best route at this point in time, because Spirit says that you can't forgive. I mean, I forgive her. I do. I forgive her, but she will not accept forgiveness for something she cannot accept herself that she's done. She's not in a place to take responsibility. So talking to her on an energetic level is detrimental, because what it does is the authenticity threatens her, because she's unable to be authentic because she's had so many secrets for so long. And she also operates in two different energies that aren't aware of each other. So she might truly feel like she did nothing wrong, but her alter is the one that is, performing these acts of abuse and stuff. And so it would be detrimental energetically to open that doorway to her when she's still in her shadow. So we just said shadow. It would just attach another cord that I've already cut. And until she gets to a place of acceptance of her own, things that give her guilt and shame, she will not be able to have access to people, places, or things that are accepting truth. Does that make sense? Every single female responsible for me being here on this planet died within 5 days of my birthday. Oh.
I miss my family.
I miss my family, Spirit says. Last time I went to her grave was last time. It was bad. Come on, write her an anonymous note. I'm sure she's watching. I could write her a letter just for myself, like everything I'd want to say to her. One thing that makes me have compassion for her is that in the times where she was spiritually attacking me and it was working, and she almost ruined my whole family, I saw her in a dream, and confirmation, I saw her in a dream and I told her about it. And she came to me as her golden, vibrant, beautiful, oh, thank you, beautiful self, as crossed over loved ones often do that are crossed over. But she wasn't crossed over at the time. So maybe it's just her higher self. I don't know. But she came to me and she said something to me that was told to me by a being in one of the moments where I was experiencing a traumatic incident. And the being came into my doorway with the hall light on and said, and was leaning against the door. I just had a revelation that this being could have been my mom the whole time while I was going through a traumatic incident. And the being said, don't worry, everything will be all right. And then when I had the dream about my mom in her perfected state, she said, she bent down to me like I was a child and said, everything's going to be all right. And ever since I was little, Spirit always instilled to me that everything's going to work out the way it should. And so I went through my whole life never worried about how things would work out. I just always assumed, because Spirit told me, that everything would work out and that everything would be all right. And then she told me that in the dream. And so it gives me compassion for her. It makes me feel like it's a soul contract. Like this was something that we all agreed to, as painful as it might be to know that someone could do such things to you, because you wouldn't do that. Clarity. You have to remember that on a higher perspective, that even though our parents put us through these things, it was for a reason. And I know that's hard to accept and it's hard to receive that truth, but I know for myself that I wouldn't be who I am if it weren't for that. And when you come to Earth School, just like this card says, every person has their own personalized study plan in this Earth School. It was a karmic contract. It was a karmic agreement for them to put you through those things so you could come to a level of awareness that's needed very much in this time that we're in. We absolutely need you, Vince and LOL, and all the people to be at the place you're at now in order for us to create a new future that doesn't operate in this energy. And so for me, that's a great awakening for me, to be able to let it go and to accept it and to honor it. And I say thank you. I say thank you. I believe I came here today for this purpose, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Oh, I was thinking my whole family in that cemetery. I don't have any family either, Vince. And what I'm learning is that family, soul family, can be anyone. And it doesn't matter if it's by blood or by soul. I'm crying too. We can be each other's soul family, and we don't have to have the blood family to feel like we belong or that we are valuable. I'm glad you're here. It's safe for you to shine.
Frank.
You're always welcome here, Vince. I'm glad you came. Keep being authentic. Crown chakra. Keep expanding your knowledge. Keep moving forward, wanting to know more, wanting to get clarity, wanting the truth. That's the thing that's going to clear everybody's minds about what really happened. That's how we heal, by the truth coming. I tell everyone I'm a brother from another mother of another color. Me too. Oh, so happy you're here. Trust your gifts, guys. Trust your gifts. And see this from a higher perspective.
Carl.
Carl again. Carl. Carl. Spirit says these things that happened to us gave us the ability to listen. Quiet your mind, beloved one, and listen to our gentle reassurance that everything has been taken care of. Like I said, everything's going to be all right. Stay in a quiet and receptive state without worrying about the exact nature of your desire's manifestation. A quiet mind and body hears us quickly and clearly. This is our request to you to listen. Carl, you're not going to find your family at that cemetery. I suggest you stop going. If you want to be in contact with your family, they're all around you. All you have to do is listen. All you have to do is clear your mind and know that energy doesn't live in the ground. Energy is everywhere all at once, and that you're never alone, and we're here for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, LOL. Thank you, Robin. I love you guys so much. I gotta go get the kids. This was a long one, but I'm happy I did it. I was really scared to do it, but I'm happy I did it. You guys are always supported by us over here. We love you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.